Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
The series RuPaul's Drag Race may have started out as something of an experiment to see if people would watch it, but then it became a literal phenomenon. One that has gone much longer than people expected over the years and continually grew into something bigger and more profound in its outreach. Now, it's had over 15 seasons, something many other shows can't say. But like all shows, there were highs, there were lows, and there were seasons that made us question what was going on. So, with that being said, allow us to show you every RuPaul Drag Race season ranked. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. 16. Season 11. Ironically, the mainstream success of Drag Race seems to have had a negative effect on the quality of more recent seasons. The show's rabid fandom makes new contestants second-guess everything they say for fear of online backlash. And the flurry of pre-packaged catchphrases can never replace the show's most iconic, off-the-cuff moments of early seasons. The prime example of this is Season 11, which delivered more cringe and camp with a messy Olympics-themed dance challenge, a musical all about Donald Trump, and a whole group of queens admitting they know nothing about Mariah Carey. 15. Season 7. Most fans will tell you that Season 7 is the show's worst season, but to be honest, many think it gets kind of a bad rap. It has one of the best Snatch Game episodes ever, plus it launched some of the franchise's most famous queens, Trixie Mattel, Katya Zamoldzikova, and Jasmine Masters. Sadly, none of those queens really shined in this season, which is infamous for its terrible acting challenges, including train wrecks like Shakespeare and the Pink Flamingos-inspired musical number. 14. Season 1. You've got to give props to the season that started it all, but as is often the case, Drag Race had to deal with a lot of rough patches in its debut season before figuring the format out. The season's more laid-back attitude and its oft-mocked heavy filter make it more fun to watch as a nostalgic time capsule than an actually thrilling reality show these days. Plus, it's the shortest season of the franchise, and doesn't include fan-favorite staples like the Snatch Game or a Rusical. But it laid the groundwork and did enough to get the franchise off the ground, which was the most important thing. Number 13. All-Stars 4. When All-Stars season began, fans were sure they would easily be the best seasons of the show. But unfortunately, the shine wore off by the fourth season. A big reason for All-Stars 4 falling short is likely how soon it aired after All-Stars 3. The third season ended in the spring of 2018, and All-Stars 4 kicked off before the year was over. Because of that quick turnaround, the season was packed with queens from super recent seasons, with Manila Luzon and Latrice Royale standing out as the only two queens from the early Drag Race seasons. Overall, the season just felt a bit rushed. Plus, it ended with a crowning decision that is pretty universally seen as unsatisfying in the fandom. Number 12. Season 10. While the untucked episodes of Season 10 may have been some of the most heated ever, the overall competition was more lukewarm. The season was packed with acting and musical challenges, some of which were better than others, but the disjointed Snatch Game was definitely a low point. Fans still got to see some great drama and important social commentary, courtesy of The Vixen, plus Asia O'Hara's butterfly lip sync left everyone shocked. But overall, it just wasn't the best of seasons. Number 11. All-Stars 3. All-Stars 3 truly lived up to its name by casting a ton of fan-favorite queens for a battle royale. But ironically enough, it was because there were so many deserving winners that this season wound up being a bit awkward. A shocking self-elimination ousted the season's obvious winner halfway through. And crowning was even further messed up by a jury vote twist that eliminated a queen's most fans believed would win. It all made the final moment feel a bit cheap. Number 10. Season 12. Season 12 of Drag Race might become known as the cursed season, but despite several setbacks, it still managed to become an instant fan favorite. Splitting the queens up into two groups for a double premiere was a brilliant way to endear fans to all of the contestants more than ever before. The season's musical challenges stand up as some of the best in Drag Race history. Overall, Season 12 managed to give fans a bunch of beloved new queens and memorable moments, even if those final remotely filmed virtual episodes were unfortunate and the pall of unqualified queens hung over the season. Number 9. Season 8. For some reason, Season 8 has significantly fewer episodes than any other season of Drag Race except Season 1. Despite the lack of episodes, the season still majorly delivered with some of the franchise's most memorable queens. This was one of their seasons in which the winner became pretty apparent a few episodes in, but that didn't detract from the fun of watching everyone slay all the challenges. Number 8. All Stars 1. All Stars 1 was full of some of the best moments in the franchise. This is the season in which Drag Race favorite Tammy Brown really came alive. Plus, it includes one of the most iconically brutal untuck moments ever, when Raven goes in on Mimi Imfurst. Yes, it's comically short season with a challenge that really doesn't make any sense. The queens were judged on how well they could prank random strangers, and judging the queens as duos led to some unfair eliminations, but it's full of the unedited, unapologetic shadiness and unpredictability that made early seasons so magical. Number 7. Season 9. Without a doubt, Season 9 is the best of the modern seasons of Drag Race. While some seasons faltered as the show reached new levels of popularity, Season 9 rose above the forced catchphrases to deliver a season packed with some of the most iconic Drag Race moments. From Aya's instantly quotable Linda Evangelista rant to Valentina's infamously asking to keep her face mask on during a lip sync, Season 9 was all about the memes, and it all led up to one of the most jaw-dropping lip syncs in Drag Race history. A rosy reveal every fan of the show will always remember. Number 6. Season 3. Season 3 stands out for a few reasons. It was the first season to bring back a queen from a previous season. It had a whopping 4 sewing challenges, and it remains the only season in which there is a very clear divide between the queens. You could argue Season 7's Old Lady Brigade versus the Young Queens was notable, but that couldn't hold a candle to the animosity between the Heathers and the Boogers. Watching the scrappy outcast Shangela, Alexis, Yar, and Stacy go toe-to-toe with the cliquey queens was the perfect formula for an endlessly entertaining season. Number 5. Season 2. Drag Race's premiere season may have lacked the polish and drama to make it truly great, but the show definitely found its footing with Season 2. Probably the shadiest season ever, Season 2 was full of juicy conflict, raw emotion, and some of the most memorable reads in Drag Race history. Between Morgan versus Mystique, Tatiana versus Raven, and Tyra versus pretty much everyone else, each episode delivered a masterclass in shade. Number 4. Season 5. Some of Drag Race's biggest personalities were introduced in Season 5, making it one of the best seasons to watch and rewatch for superfans. There's a reason half of the cast of the best All-Star seasons came from Season 5, because so many queens from this season deserve a crown. From the cliquey Rolaska Talks girl group to the ongoing feud between Coco and Alyssa, the season served killer looks with a ton of memeable moments, back rolls, and it all led to a tried and true story, the scrappy underdog versus the seasoned bully. Number 3. Season 6. Many Drag Race fans consider Season 6 to be the show's best season ever, and there's a good reason for that. The top 3 queens are arguably one of the strongest groups ever, each representing an essential attribute for a drag superstar, and even though the winner was pretty clear from the start, watching her slay every competition was an endless delight. On top of that, Nganya Estrania is likely the most quotable queen ever, and her untucked meltdown is legendary. Number 2. All Stars 2. It really doesn't get much better than All Stars 2, a perfect storm of fan-favorite queens, rivalries, friendships, and a brand new twist in which the queens have to eliminate one another made this the season that turned Drag Race on its head and had fans screaming after every episode. It's a rare season in which every single challenge was a home run overall, and it upped the drama with a returning queen's twist that totally caught everyone off guard. It ended with an original music performance so good that any one of the top 3 could have feasibly won the crown. Number 1. Season 4. Not only is Season 4 the best season of RuPaul's Drag Race, it is also the season any newcomer to the show should start with. This was the season that put Drag Race on the map and proved the show could deliver some of the best reality television ever. Didal Ritz's This Will Be an Everlasting Love lip sync was incredible, and William's rebellious antics made for unbelievable TV. But of course, the true reason Season 4 stands above all the rest boils down to 8 words: Go back to Park City where you belong. Sharon Needles and Fifi O'Hara's legendary feud permeated the entire season, emphasizing the conflict between traditional pageant drag and spooky, left-of-center drag. Season 4 is the best season, not just because of the queens or the challenges, but because it brought up conversations about what drag is and what drag should be. So what do you think? What do you think of this ranking of each season? Do you agree with the rankings? Which season would you put higher? Which ones would you put lower? Which was your personal favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.